what will the price of Stronghold DE be? Will Stronghold Definitive Edition have a skirmish mode? Do you plan to create a Definitive Edition for Stronghold Crusader in the future? Greetings, sire. A message from your scribe. Hello everyone and welcome back to Firefly Studios. I'm here today dressed for your amusement as everybody's favourite Stronghold character, answering your burning questions about this year's exciting Stronghold release, Stronghold Definitive Edition. Your response to our DE reveal was amazing. We couldn't have asked for more with over 100,000 wish lists in under 2 weeks, many kind words, hilarious memes, and of course valuable feedback, some of which has already made it into our first public demo. If you are watching this video before August 29th and the end of Gamescom, please do download the demo and see some of these improvements firsthand. And of course, if you haven't already, let us know your feedback using the form in the main menu. So before launching into your questions, I would like to introduce the newest member of our growing team here at Firefly. Jamie has joined the marketing team and is currently behind the camera, so I'm going to ask her to awkwardly shuffle over here and wave at you.
Hello! Okay, bye.
Thanks, Jamie. So let's jump into the questions. Stan Shane says, I'd love to see a toggle for soldiers unable to destroy walls. Strong walls will indeed be an option in multiplayer mode. Whoa, deja vu.
So Platian has asked, will the strong wall option be included? The strong wall option from Crusader 1 will be included.
Oh wait, that's because we get asked this question every single time we make a game. Strong walls ain't going away, don't worry. Gelhard the MD asks, will the map editor get new features? So when it comes to the map editor, the main feature we're adding, of course, is Steam Workshop support. This means those wonderful fan sites, shout out to Stronghold Heaven and Stronghold Nation, can move their maps easily over to Steam, and that any new creations are very, very straightforward to upload and share. Obviously, we'll have a few quality of life improvements in there as well, which is a theme across the entire game. For example, the scenario editor can now be opened while using the map editor, rather than having to work across these two separate things. There's also features such as proximity markers, which trigger an action or voice line when troops are near, providing greater flexibility when designing custom missions by allowing you to do things like spawn invasions when troops reach a certain area of the map. Lutel asks what languages the new campaign will be localized in. So in terms of voiceover, the Definitive Edition campaign will be localized into French, Italian, German, Spanish, Polish, Portuguese, Brazilian, and Russian. And then this is in addition to text-only localization into Czech, Hungarian, Japanese, Korean, Thai, Turkish, traditional and simplified Chinese, and Ukrainian. Kral's Yong asks how many can play online at once. Same as the original and in Stronghold HD, 8 players. VXL asks us, will you add bigger maps to the game? So I can't say for DE, but bigger maps generally are on our wish list for Stronghold games going forward. At the moment, we can't confirm within Unity for a project like DE, just due to the way tiling is handled in the older games. But if anything changes on that front, we will let you know. We do appreciate this is something that people want to see evolve from our earlier titles though, and we are definitely looking into it across all future projects. Dr. Furious Tank asks, will DE have any features from other Stronghold games? Definitely, we will have a scalable UI from the later titles in addition to modern RTS controls and the option to play with Classic. We're also looking into rally points, building hotkeys, and your favorite feature, my favorite feature, auto trading. Sadly, adding these things isn't just a case of copy and pasting the game code, but obviously improvements made later down the line in the series were made for a reason. So we're just trying to bring back as many of these as possible. Adrian1818 asks, are there any plans to release a physical collector's edition of Stronghold DE? There are no current plans to release a physical version of the game. We did reach out to a few potential partners because honestly, we'd love to do it as well, but sadly, you'll just have to settle for that sweet digital ownership on Steam. We do have some cool DE t-shirts that you might be able to win if you bug Natasha enough on Discord. Beyond that, we have a few surprises up our sleeves on the digital side, so follow us on socials if you don't want to miss out on anything like that. Rans Winter asks, will the Definitive Edition have fewer bugs than the original game? We are being careful not to fix any exploits that players may have come to enjoy or rely on over the years, so without naming names, Mission 15, certain elements will remain as they were before. We will, however, be fixing some bugs, yes. So one example of this would be stopping the ability to route knights and siege equipment onto walls and towers. Wait, could you do that in the original game? There will of course be other bug fixes as well. As I said, our goal is to fix issues that annoyed you in the original game rather than changing certain quirks that you've come to know and love. So yes, before you ask, you will still be able to put a ridiculous number of archers into a tower, delete the stairs, and rain down pointy hell on your enemies with no way for them to reach you.
Arrows away!
No judgment here. This is a safe space. Pippin asks, will Stronghold DE have mod support? Does this mean a Lord of the Rings mod is possible? Currently, Steam Workshop support is planned for custom maps only for DE. The good news, however, is that you can still live out those Lord of the Rings fantasies by playing the countless amazing user-made maps, which we're hoping will be given a new lease of life via Workshop. This map support also extends to custom scenarios and missions, meaning there's plenty of room to get creative in the scenario editor as well. Megalol asks, is Stronghold DE running on the same engine? It is indeed. One thing we have really appreciated about recent RTS remasters is how the core of the game has been kept intact, and that was a #1 priority for us on DE. The only change we've made is that we have this engine and game code running via Unity, which allows us to update elements like the UI and controls to modern standards, in addition to making new content like the DE campaign easier to integrate. James Detroit asks, have there been any changes to the AI? So no, changes to AI are not planned for DE. Again, it really isn't our intention to change how the original game played, and part of that is preserving things like the level of difficulty found in the OG game, meaning really, really hard. There will be minor additions to make things more interesting for the hardcore players, such as including proximity markers for use in custom missions. Then there's a new campaign, which, as well as being hard as nails on a decent difficulty setting, will include some interesting and surprising gameplay for series veterans. User-QX3MX, this name right here, asks us, do you plan to create a definitive edition for Stronghold Crusader in the future? Going by the comments on our reveal trailer, you would think that we have confirmed this game, but look, to be completely honest, Crusader is not in active development at the moment, so it's not something we can 100% commit to. It really depends how Stronghold DE performs on Steam. You know, if people like the upgrade, they like the new features and the content, then great, we can explore the possibility of other definitive editions. Mahamita asks, are there any new modes or changes in the game's multiplayer? So we're not currently planning any new game modes for multiplayer, however, you will be able to play easily and seamlessly direct through Steam, meaning you can easily and seamlessly kill Greg. And that is a reference that only makes sense if you've seen the reveal trailer, so sorry if you haven't, go watch it. Light Zero asks if the new campaign is actually new or is it simply the old campaign reworked? The new campaign is a completely new set of 14 missions with a new narrative framework. Our co-founders Simon and Eric have designed a completely new set of missions for you to play with some interesting spins on the core gameplay found in the original game's campaign. This will be in addition to both the original campaigns, so military and economic, which remain in the game as they were back in 2001. Mr. Beavis asks if Stronghold DE will have ultra-wide resolution support. Yes, it will. While I personally don't have an ultra-wide monitor, I know it's very important for those players who do, so we've added support for this and it will be available at launch. Vinicius asks if Stronghold DE will be compatible with custom maps made in the original game. The answer is yes, all maps and missions created in either the original Stronghold from 2001 or the latest Stronghold HD can be loaded into DE and uploaded to Steam Workshop. It was a priority for us to make this new version fully compatible with your old files, and that extends to old save games as well. So if as a kid you never actually made it past mission 15, now's your chance. Dust off that hard drive, load up that save game and make 13-year-old you proud. Ewas asks, is there any possibility that DE will come to Mac or Linux? Sadly, no current plans to bring DE to Mac or Linux, but if any super keen porting companies are watching this video and can do all the work for our very small team, then please do hit me up on Twitter. Lumber America asks, what quality of life changes can we expect in Definitive Edition? So people rightly expect this stuff with a Definitive Edition, and these changes are coming. We just haven't really got into the specifics yet. So to summarize, we have the bug fixes already discussed, customizable hotkeys, predefined control schemes, scalable UI, objective and resource UI panels, extra game options, animation smoothing, extra animation frames, and more. Jacob Spire asks, will Stronghold Definitive Edition have a skirmish mode? I'm sad to say no, unfortunately, for our single coder on the project, the backporting and retrofitting of all Skirmish related code and features from Crusader to DE just wasn't possible within the time frame we had to develop and release the game. There were other considerations too, such as not wanting to introduce stability issues or bugs to a 20-year-old game, in addition to simply keeping the scope achievable for our small team, however talented they might be. I know this is something that everybody wants, and we would love to do it if we had the time and the resources, but we want to be clear with you on where we're at and our size as a studio. That said, I do hope the new 14 mission campaign and 10 mission castle trail make up for this when it comes to single player content. Martinus asks if the original German voice actors are returning. Yes, the definitive edition will indeed include the same voice acting from the original game. As with the soundtrack and some sound effects, we will endeavour to improve the quality of the audio, however the lines themselves will remain unchanged. The only voice acting that will be actually replaced in DE is the tutorial voiceover in order to account for new control options. We will also have brand new voice acting as part of the new 14 mission campaign. As you can imagine, it was quite difficult to find actors still working in the industry more than 20 years later. If you know any, let me know. But thus far, only Jay Simon, who voiced our reveal trailer, and Christopher Kent are the two confirmed returning Stronghold actors. So the new campaign, for instance, will be narrated by a brand new character who in English will be voiced by Chris. These actors will not be replicating any dialogue from the original game or replacing any of that, only providing new lines. Vincent asks if Stronghold DE will come to consoles. Console is an interesting one. We'd love to do it, but a console version would of course involve redesigned controls, meaning a dedicated designer to do that and the experience of that design. We absolutely love what Age 2 did with their control scheme, but they're a bigger studio with more support than us, so it's not something we can easily do ourselves or outsource. As of August 23, we currently do have a job listing live for UI designer, so if you want this to happen and you have the skills, please join us. Ninad asks if this is a separate game or an update for existing owners. DE is a completely separate game. All the art in the game has been completely remade. We've added major new features and content like the multiplayer, new campaign, historical castle trail, and loads of community-driven quality of life improvements and changes. It's been in development for some time at this point, and sadly, we can't offer to give it away for free because, you know, are you gonna pay for the adorable pets of Firefly to eat? Come on, look at these guys. That said, I am confident that once you play our DE demos, give us feedback, and then check out the final game in November, you'll be happy with what we've been able to achieve with our small team. And if not, Stronghold HD will remain available on sale and as a free upgrade to the original game at strongholdhd.com. Mountain Goat AOE asks, what will the price of Stronghold DE be? Drumroll please. $14.99 in dollars and euros and $12.99 in pounds. We decided this pretty early on, to be honest, when we realized what we would and wouldn't be able to include in terms of our core feature set, and feel this is a good, fair price compared to the other wonderful definitive editions out there. You might even get a cheeky launch discount if you wishlist the game. Eloirus asks if players will have the ability to switch back and forth between old and new graphics. Initially, DE used a variant of the original graphics, however they were doubled in size. We added a new colouring system using shaders, and there are many new animations in the game. All this would have meant doubling up some animation systems and keeping them synchronized, which wasn't possible given our team size and the time frame for release. So sadly the answer is no, but the original graphics will stay out there in the form of Stronghold HD, which can be found on Steam or at strongholdhd.com as a free upgrade. VCM Entertainment asks, are the maps from the Deluxe edition still in the game? Yes, all maps will be in there and compatible with DE, including user-made maps as well. Pietrek asks, will the map from the campaign still show your client country? We'd love to do this, and as many of you know, we already did it for Stronghold HD. Right now, however, I can't say for sure. Each 3D render and background from the original game, so the Feast, the Night Castle, Victory Screen, etc., they've all been lovingly remade and animated by our very talented technical artists, and these of course take time. As a result, it won't be until we can get to doing the English map that we can say for sure, but they are definitely on our list of stretch goals, and hopefully we can confirm closer to launch. Piotr M asks, will Stronghold DE have achievements? It will indeed. Achievements are something we've always wanted to add alongside Steam Multiplayer and Workshop, so it gives us great pleasure to add these and include loads of stupid names for them, so apologies in advance for the terrible puns. And for you, well done for achieving the end of this video. So there you have it. Hopefully this Q&A provided you with an idea of where we're at with DE, which of course still remains in active development. As we said in our Leeds Castle game overview video recently, we will continue to review feedback and act on it wherever possible within the means of our small team. So please do keep commenting and sharing your thoughts on Discord and elsewhere. If you have questions that weren't covered in today's video, please also leave those below and we'll reply either in a future video or in the comments. For now, I'll leave you with a request to wishlist Stronghold DE on Steam if you haven't already. And please stay tuned here on YouTube for further updates on both Stronghold DE and future Stronghold games.